Model Making Guru is sponsored by emodels.co.uk. Make something awesome. Hey everyone, it's Foxx from modelmaking.guru here. Hello and welcome. Well, it's back. Yes, it is back. Welcome to the DeAgostini Partwork Star Wars Build Your Own X-Wing Partwork. I said partwork twice there. I'm an idiot. Yes, welcome. We are back. Now, if you remember, about October last year, we got up to issue 50 and then basically it just stopped. I didn't get any more packages from DeAgostini and I didn't get any contact from them. I wasn't able to get hold of them. Now, because I'm being provided this free of charge, I'm not a subscriber to this. They offered to send it to me to film. I didn't really want to push it. I just assumed that I'd perhaps accidentally dropped off a list. And that it wasn't the end of the world, so I just left it. I did contact them, but I didn't hear back. So I assumed that for whatever reason, they'd kind of decided to stop sending it to me, which was fine. I didn't really mind. However, a week ago, bing, more turned up. I've got 15 more issues. So we are back on. Yes, we're back on. So we're going to start off with issue 51 in this episode. Now, I'm going to do things a bit differently. In the past, I did big, long episodes with 5, 10 or 15 issues, or I did live streams with the same sort of backlog. I'm not going to do that from now on. Just for the sake of my sanity, what I'm going to do is do little 5 or 10 minute videos where I just look at one issue and the bits that come with it. And this one is issue 51. Now, in issue 51, we of course get more wing bits. I'm afraid we're still building wings. We haven't got past all the wings yet. There are 4 of them, so it makes kind of sense. And in issue 51, we start off with some references to Star Wars Rebels. Now, I do have to warn you, in the coming 5 issues, it's not very interesting. As in, to me personally, I like the behind the scenes, how they made the models and filmed it, and how they designed everything, information. I'm not that keen on the lore. Well, I like the lore from Clone Wars and from Rebels. I'm not that keen on the lore from the prequels and other stuff because they don't exist anyway. So there's a bit of that going on. Anyway, we start off with a discussion about the TIE Defender, which was in Star Wars Rebels. Now, I have to say, I did like Star Wars Rebels. I didn't like it as much as the Clone Wars animated series, which was kick-ass. And I'm rewatching it now on Disney Plus in actual high definition. I can see it with actual 1080p's and not like 240p's, which is what I've watched it in before, which is fantastic. So yes, watching it with actual 1080p's and full colour and sound that's incredibly in sync. It's amazing. I've always watched it like low quality buffering versions and they're crap. So yes. Anyway, so I prefer Clone Wars. But yes, this is from Star Wars Rebels. Then we have a section about Chewbacca. And I have to say, they're referencing a ship here, which I think was in Rebels. You don't get all this information in the actual series, but there's background information that it's a Dragon Boat class. This is what I love. Rurjo 905. Rurjo, really? I like that. I like that a lot. And it's designed by Gallo Free Yards Inc. There's like, I just like that. I like the references there that nobody's ever going to know about, but they wrote it anyway. More information about Chewbacca noms. I don't know why I said Chewbacca noms. I'm talking rubbish today. I've not had anywhere enough coffee. Let me get my... There you go. That's my rubbish Chewbacca impression. A bit of information from the Solo film. I actually like the Solo movie. I don't know if you did. You probably hate me because I said that. I actually quite liked it. I thought it could have been better, but I thought it was quite good. This chap here, whoever this actor was, I can't remember, I don't know. I don't do celebrities and actors and nonsense. Whoever he was, he did it very well anyway. It worked for me. And then we have some more information about the ship itself in the next few issues. It's going to give you little beauty shots and some little snippets of information. This is talking about attack position. The outer panels of the X-Wing's S-foils were solid, but when the wings were locked in attack position, openings on the inner surfaces vented the internal systems to prevent heat build-up, which is why they go into attack position. And then we have the buildy part, which we shall start now. And then on the back, oh, a very nice picture, very nice picture. So we get some wing bits. Let's crack on. Okay, so we don't get a huge amount of parts in this issue. We get the top of the wing itself. We get this bit of detail that goes along the leading edge. We get 2 of the power couplings, apparently. Some plant-on details, which is what they call greebles. A support for the laser cannon. And we get this plant-on detail as well, which I thought had a name, but doesn't. So, dead simple. Let's go through the instructions. We start off with adding the plant-on details. So, we need to place, first of all, this on here. I don't think we'll need any tools this time. It says, fit the cannon support into these two holes with the flat side facing the wingtip. We've done this before. We've done this a million times before. With the flat side, because you get the little bump there. You want it that way. So flat side facing the wingtip. Now, if you remember, this will be fully painted up once it's finished. And in some places, I'm gluing parts in place because once I've built it, I've kind of decided once I've built it, I don't intend on taking it apart again if I can avoid it at all. I just want to get it painted. So that's a really fixed, kind of honking great, jammed in there attachment. That's not, what's that there? Little sort of mark in the paintwork there. No worries, we will remove that. Is that a recess? Is it a bulb? It's like a little dimple. Not to worry, it'll be covered up with the laser cannon anyway. But yes, that's jammed in there. It's not going to go anywhere. I was talking rubbish then, wasn't I? What I need, most important thing I need is the coffee. It's the most important tool you can have, because I was clearly talking gibberish there. It says step 3, well, step 1 is put it there, step 3 is put it into place. Step 4, fit detail B into the matching recess. I think it's fairly obvious to see where that's supposed to go. Yes, that way around because it matches. It's not hard. Big number 3. Not hard. This should snap in the back there. And that again is probably never ever going to come out again. There are some details that I will glue in place every now and then, and for those I'm going to be using Plastic Magic cement because this is ABS. Normal polystyrene cement like Tamiya Extra Thin or regular won't work. So for little bits and bobs here and there, I might glue them in. If I think they're going to fall out or be loose. But for most of these bits, they go in so firmly, I don't need to glue them. What's next? Next, we have detail C is it's painted red and fits into this recess. There. These are, I like to call these pointless busy work. They're not really pointless busy work, but there's no real reason to give you that little detail there. But it gives you something to do. It's better than having 2 bits to fit into this week, and we've got another one there. It's better than having just 2 little pieces to put in this issue. You've got a handful of bits, and it makes it look a bit better than just a moulded square. How does this... Oh dear. Okay, little bit of a nub there. It's been broken off a sprue. What I shall very quickly do is get myself my knife. Apologies if I keep going out of shot. I've not got used to where the camera is. And I've got a little tiny bit of nub. So I'm just going to scrape that off with a knife, just purely because it's going to affect how it fits in. It might not let it fit snug. In fact, it won't make any difference. Well, it does go into a recess there. I'm talking rubbish today, aren't I? I do apologise. That snaps in, and it's not exactly straight. It can rotate freely, so you have to make sure it's lined up. You can rotate it round, get it lined up nicely. I know I'm doing it off camera. There we go. Now for these two, because that one can spin round, and that one's not super stuck in there, I'm going to use some of the glue. That I can't glue from the other side, because I can't get in there. So I'm going to touch some glue to it, just to the edge, to make it go capillary action into there. Now you'll see it pulls the paint up. Don't care. I'm going to be repainting this. If you do any gluing, this was I can get from the. Can I get to the side from there? Yeah, this one I can get to the side from there. If you do notice when you're using glue on this, you don't have to actually use any glue on this kit at all, by the way. But because I am painting this when it's finished, and I will be essentially or potentially selling it and sending it to someone, I don't want it to arrive with bits falling off. So I'm making sure everything is glued in as much as possible. But you will notice the paint comes off. If you're not planning on painting this, but you want to do any little bits of gluing and stuff, don't. The way this has been painted is it's bare plastic. You can almost scrape it off. It's bare plastic, and then it's had basically the red bit sprayed on and some basic colour sprayed on, and then the colour here, this mushroomy colour and the black streaking, is just a very light spray of black. They do a very light misty spray of black over the cream colour plastic to get this grey effect, and then they do a bit heavier where the streaks are. It's not sealed in, it's not protected anyway. There's no primer on the plastic when they sprayed the other bits, so you can see when I touched the glue to it, it started to eat the paint away. So if you don't plan on painting this, you don't want to use glues anywhere near any of this, because it'll just take that paint straight off. We do plan on painting it. So what's actually going to happen is we're going to get everything assembled, hit it with primer, and then paint it. So I don't care if I mess up the paint job on here right now. Although I don't really want to mess up this too much, because I need to kind of... The trick is going to be masking this puppy off on these wings when it comes to building. So I need to take lots of photographs of these designs, because they're a pain to mask those and get them exactly right. There's no relief there. I can't mask them off in advance. I can knock the camera though, and I'll try not to do that. Right, so talking rubbish again. They're glued in. Next we have this bit. Now this bit always gives me grief. This bit always gives me shenanigans. There's a little knob there. So I've got to I want to trim this down. This is where it's been taken off a sprue when it's been manufactured. It's no big problem. It just, because it's a very tight fit on this piece, I want to make sure it... I always have trouble getting these to fit in, so I want to make sure it doesn't have any fit issues at all. So this goes in with the blobby end there at this end, the fat end. Apologies if I keep going off camera. And it just locks into place. You've got these little tabs that go into the slots, and it's a right pain in the bum to get in, usually. So I'll show you what... I mean, this one will just make me a liar now, and it'll go in perfectly and be no problem whatsoever, just for the first time ever. Watch. Oh, and indeed, it almost did. Did it? Almost. No, this one did actually behave, but what I would recommend, to make sure it seats home properly, because this last one isn't quite going into the slot, I'm going to glue this in place to hold it in, but what I would recommend is get yourself any tool. I've got some needle nose pliers here. Any tool with a soft, squashy, rubbery grip, because what I can do now is, awkwardly trying to do it on camera, is push that in place, just to make sure. Now when I've done the other ones, they've kind of gone into place and not locked in, and I've done this and it's gone click and gone into place. But this one, it's making a liar out of me. It's gone in perfectly. Git. Absolute git. So, but this end is, as you can see, that end, you can't really see the hole in there, but it's very loose fit. So what I'm going to do is I will glue the other ones in. Again, this is just to stop it falling out once it's been painted, because that would be rubbish. A bit of glue there. Now this stuff is thin. It's thinner than Tamiya Extra Thin. You don't need a lot, and you just run it into a gap and it'll suck itself into the gap via capillary action and hold the plastic. It'll weld the plastic together. I think it welds it together anyway, a bit like Extra Thin. But it's designed to work with many different kinds of plastic. There are glues you can get specifically for ABS. Tamiya do one with a blue lid. I'm going to get some glue under there. I'm just going to push it down, hold it in place for a minute. If you use regular Tamiya Extra Thin, or regular cement or anything like that, Revell contactor, there's a very good chance, as a plane flies overhead outside very loudly, do apologise, that it won't stick, because polystyrene cements, funnily enough, rely on polystyrene. They melt polystyrene and they weld it together. The difficulty you have with this is it's ABS. Now ABS can contain small amounts of polystyrene, but not always. So it may be, if there's enough polystyrene in the ABS, because sometimes there can be, it may actually work with Extra Thin. But if there's not enough, it won't, and your things will just fall apart. So get yourself either the Tamiya Blue Top, but that's quite thick and stodgy. I'd recommend some Tamiya Blue Top, which is this stuff. For ABS, I'd recommend some of this, and I recommend some of the Plastic Magic. And right now, Mike Mountain over at Scaly Models is shouting at me because I've got unprotected glue bottles on the desktop, because they don't actually fit in the glue holders. But never mind. Well, that one doesn't. So sorry, Dad. Right, so that's on there. We're going to leave that for a little bit just to do its thing. But that will hopefully now be glued in place permanently. I'll just keep it pushed down for about 5 minutes or so. It'll just take a few minutes for it to kick in. Okay, so that's just gluing into place. I've just wedged it in place with a bit of blue tack just to keep it pressed down for the moment. So what's next? Next we have the power coupling discs. Now these, I always get confused by these. The back of each power coupling disc has a D-shaped mounting lug in the centre. There you go, 1 and 1. It says fit disc F. That one's labelled as 1. and that one's labelled as 1. Okay, fantastic. So we have to put, where's it go? This one goes here across this bit here. So we need to make sure we've got one with the relevant chunk taken out. Disc F is this one with one single chunk taken out. So that's going to go. I can never line these up. That's going to go there, over that bit of piping. I can never get these to line up. There we go. I think that's in. That is in, nice and shiny. Take disc G and fit over the other rib on the wing. So you've got 2 sides here and 2 little notches cut out. Again, I'll get this wrong, you can guarantee it. It goes that way. It's trying to find, this peg goes into that hole. It's trying to find the hole with the peg when you can't actually see it. It's always a challenge. Yeah. Come on now, where are you? There you are. There you are. There, so that's those 2 in. Now they're not exactly, I would say, massively secure, but I can't really get in there to glue them because they don't, I can't get a brush under there to where the peg and hole is, and I think they'll be fine. If they ever do fall out, I can put them back in again, I hope. They should be alright. I think they're fairly sturdy in there. But that is actually it for issue 51. I'll let that dry for another 5 or 10 minutes. So that's going to do us. Come back tomorrow for issue 52. Take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, of course, to like, subscribe. If you'd like to support this channel, keep it alive, you can either become a Patreon at patreon.com/modelmakingguru, or you can become a channel member by hitting the join button underneath any one of my videos or live streams. Either way, you help keep this channel alive, you support it directly, and you make it possible. Coffee. You make it possible for me to finish sentences without messing up the words. You make it possible for me to keep on going and doing content for you. So thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. And until next time. Oh, the link for this part work, by the way, if you want to do the X-Wing, is in the description below the video. Adios, amoebas.